Welcome to the June 2025 Prehistoric Kingdom Dev Diary Thoughts and Reactions. Let's jump right in. Mating is coming in Update 15. The babies were a huge success, so the devs decided to move ahead and add breeding sooner. The team has been secretly working on it since April. Breeding will play into Update 16, where vets and diseases will be added. Right now, the animal AI is very simple. It needed to just satisfy its hunger and thirst. Now they need to find a mate, go through courtship, find a nest, and build a nest. This will be a true test of the game's animal AI. The bad news is that the PTB has been delayed further, and the release for Update 15 has been pushed to late August. I wouldn't be too upset if it were delayed further. It's a complicated update. So let's get into the details on breeding. You'll be able to breed once you unlock the male animal through research. An animal's fertility will determine how many babies it'll have. Higher fertility, more babies. Lower fertility, fewer babies. An animal raised from a baby to an adult will be more fertile. It's a reward for spending time raising your animals. The baby will inherit the parent's fertility values by averaging both. I'm willing to bet the babies will inherit other traits from parents too, to encourage players to breed them. You can learn about animal breeding season in the Paleopedia. The animals will have their own courtship ritual, some more elaborate than others. You'll see whether the animal is accepted or rejected. Anyone getting Carnotaurus flashbacks? Here's a Lielniasaura mating dance. Many of the strange features you see on dinosaurs were probably used for signaling and attracting mates in reality. Once a female is pregnant, you'll need either a nest for dinosaurs or a birthing bed for mammals. This is a module that you'll have to build. If you don't build it, there'll be no offspring. Once you have a designated birth area, the animals will build it in real time. Dinosaurs will build either craters or mounds, and for mammals, grass or leafy beds. You can pick which animal can use the nest if you have a mixed species habitat. This is my wishful thinking to add more depth to mating and nesting. Real zoos close off their exhibits during mating season. Make it so you need to create private areas for animals to mate and nest using low visibility fences. If there's no private area, then no breeding. You also can't just place your nest anywhere. It has to be in more private areas. Not all animals need privacy. Again, this is just my wishful thinking. Here's another test animation. The T-Rex will build mounds, not craters in the final release. Craters are for animals to sit and incubate their eggs. Mounds are for animals too big to sit on their eggs. You can assign nests to specific species in your habitat if you have a mixed exhibit. You'll have to decide who gets to use that birthing bed. Eggs will have their own health bar. If the parents spend too much time away eating and drinking, the eggs can die. That sounds like nesting behavior, but I wonder how much depth it'll have. Mammals will use birthing beds, but since they don't lay eggs, they only need to use birthing beds for giving birth. Nests and birthing beds will return to their original state after the babies are born, so a new animal can use them. Why not just build multiple beds? Maybe there's a limit to how many you can build. There's probably more to this. You'll want to have babies since they will have higher animal rating, and it's cheaper than cloning them. More importantly, animals will die in Update 16, so you'll need to replace your animals. I'm willing to bet you can turn off animal deaths in sandbox mode too, but I'm getting ahead here. Use the FAQ section for breeding. I'm just going to quickly summarize everything. My videos are only supposed to inform you about these diaries. I encourage all my viewers to read the diaries themselves, since the team also put effort into writing these. Nest placement is decided by the player, so they have full control over how it looks rather than letting the AI decide on where to build a nest. Babies will be assigned a random skin from their mother or father. There will be disputes over nesting area and breeding beds if there aren't enough available, but that behavior is for the future. Diseases will affect eggs and pregnancy, but that won't be a factor until Update 16. Animals will not have realistic offspring amount because it becomes too much to manage from a gameplay standpoint. So you won't be getting 50 sauropod babies hatching, for example. Fertile animals will still have a random number of babies. Just because an animal is fertile doesn't mean she'll always give birth to a lot of babies. There will be no inbreeding, you sickos. Breeding will stop once it gets overcrowded. You'll eventually be able to control your animal population with other methods as well. Both nests and birthing beds start out as dirt mounds. When a dinosaur claims it, it'll start building the module into whatever it needs. Nests can be craters or mounds based on the fossil record. The video you see shows how the devs can modify it on the back end. This gives us an idea of how it'll look and the flexibility of this module. Here are the different types of eggs based on the fossil records. We discovered some dinosaurs and pterosaurs had soft-shelled eggs recently. This is what I was talking about in my Walking with Dinosaurs review. We also discovered that an Oviraptorid laid blue eggs in 2017. Next is an in-depth look at Gallimimus. Here's what the babies look like and ontogeny. Again, any stuttering you see is due to the growth being sped up. It's seamless in-game. According to the artist, any resemblance the baby Gallimimus skin has with the adult from the demo is purely a coincidence. They recently updated the wetland grasses. Now they're overhauling the rest. I always thought the grasses for all the biomes looked too similar and hard to distinguish. This is a welcome change. This update will affect your save, so be ready. I remove all the grass in my Mesozoic exhibits anyway. The green and dry grass has been moved to the coastal and boreal biomes. Nathan's been working exclusively on plants for the past 6 months. He has now completed 32 species and 200 variants. Hey Nathan, can we have some variants for the swamp beach, please? 15 new paleobotany formations will be coming in Update 15. I see India's on the map. I wonder if we'll get early grass there. The earliest grasses in the Cretaceous aren't the same as modern grass. I don't know what the earliest grass looks like. I need to brush up on my paleobotany. The next section is a paleobotany showcase for the rest of the biomes, but a thought hit me. Is Nathan really done with plants? We know Tectalic is coming, and that's Devonian. I know it's a terrarium, but you still need to build a suitable biome, right? Something tells me Nathan might still need to make more plants, unless they come up with something completely different for terrariums. Here's another cool feature coming to Update 15. You can now toggle to paint aquatic plants onto water surfaces and prevent non-aquatic plants from being painted into water. When I saw the blue eggs, I immediately assumed they were hinting at Oviraptor. Well, it wasn't just a hint, cause here it is. Remember what I said earlier about nesting behavior? We know Oviraptors incubated their eggs by sitting on them. We don't know how much care is needed for these eggs in real life, but this is where they can be creative. For example, make Oviraptor eggs need intense care, so both parents must take turns incubating them while the other goes to forage for food. Or maybe one will incubate while the other brings food and water to its mate. If one of them dies, the eggs are also dead. It would definitely make breeding more interesting and work with the death mechanic. So we've reached the end of this diary. I know I'm super late, but I was working on my Walking with Dinosaurs review for my other channel. The July diary is already out, but since both diaries are long, it would take even longer to make if I combine them into a double diary. I'm going to get right on that video along with my next beat 'em up episode. Also, if you have some extra money and would like to support Prehistoric Kingdom, please join their Patreon. There's a lot of exclusive content there. They also release free content. They just released a free article. The writer for Prehistoric Kingdom is also a paleontologist. She goes into details about the everyday life of a paleontologist. She studies at the University of Alberta, which was also featured in the newest Walking with Dinosaurs and a recent piece of news I reported. A link to the Patreon and the article is in the description below.